UEFA Super Cup.
Hello everybody and welcome to today's match. France against Sweden.
Has a goal! He has done it! And already they're looking to run away with it. Had a go! They've done it! Half-time imminent! What a time! Has a goal! He has done it! And already they're looking to run away with it.
Now, what's really fascinating here is how the pundits actually viewed a major UEFA Super Cup final. One of them said it felt like a pre-season match for PSG. Think about that for a second. When you've got top-tier analysts watching a high-stakes European final and concluding it looked like a mere kickabout for PSG's superstars, well, you know you're dealing with an unprecedented level of squad superiority. They weren't even playing at full speed, yet the sheer class radiating from the pitch was just undeniable. Section 1, a Super Cup stroll. Adding to the cabinet, so let's move to the UEFA Super Cup match itself, where PSG successfully captured their second title in this specific competition. By grabbing this silverware, they became only the 12th club in history to win multiple UEFA Super Cups. That puts them on a very exclusive list alongside legendary historical giants like Real Madrid and Milan. But, you know, it wasn't just that they won. It was how they won that really has the football world talking. The contrast in mentalities on the pitch was absolutely glaring. On one side, you had Aston Villa's approach. They were treating this like the fierce, competitive final it was supposed to be, completely desperate to build momentum in the attacking half. But then, look at PSG's side. They played as if they were just fulfilling an obligation. They were incredibly comfortable in possession, basically just waiting for the exact right moment to change gears. It was this fascinating psychological divide, one team fighting tooth and nail for glory, and the other just casually controlling the tempo until they decided, okay, time to strike. Section 2, Aston Villa's valiant effort. The underdogs fight back. Now, to be completely fair and analytical here, we really have to acknowledge Aston Villa's gritty and valiant effort, because they didn't just roll over. In fact, there was a really solid 50-minute spell, especially right before halftime, where Villa truly tested the champions and made it a genuinely good game. The youngsters for Villa were absolutely outstanding. You had 17-year-old Maju showing immense physical promise. He really has something special about him, and he actually capped that off by scoring a very hard-fought goal. Then you had Hemmings, who was constantly finding those dangerous, excellent scoring positions. He was a massive threat. Even though there was this one huge chance right after PSG's second goal where he hit the ball straight at PSG's keeper, Sofanov, so Villa absolutely had their moments and built some real momentum. But despite Villa's chances, PSG's sheer class meant they could just flip the switch effortlessly. The crucial takeaway here is that whenever PSG actually wanted to speed up the game or push numbers forward, they operated on an entirely different level. As the pundits pointed out, Kvaratskhelia was arguably the best player on the pitch, totally dominating both on and off the ball. You had Desiree Doué securing a crucial second goal. And the depth, honestly, it's terrifying. They can just casually bring a superstar like Ousmane Dembélé off the bench. Whenever their manager makes changes, the squad never actually seems to weaken. It's just an unrelenting wave of world-class talent. Section 3, Motivating the Unstoppable, Luis Enrique's Dilemma. Now, you might be thinking having a squad this dominant is a total dream, right? But it actually creates a very unique, high-class problem for their manager. It raises a massive, almost paradoxical question. How do you motivate a team that has already achieved so much? As Luis Enrique has repeatedly stressed in his press conferences, this is his biggest challenge. How on earth do you get the squad's interest, their intensity, and their urgency up at the very start of the season when they are already so overwhelmingly comfortable? When your team's baseline is treating a European Super Cup like a preseason friendly, keeping that competitive fire burning bright for 90 minutes every single week requires some truly elite psychological management. And this quote right here perfectly captures why that complacency even exists in the first place. They just create and score goals for fun. Even when PSG takes heavy criticism, and yeah, sure, they occasionally give chances away, their passing, their movement, and their individual skills are simply on a different planet. They've got a little bit of everything. Ultimately, whenever they are actually in the mood and ready to turn it on, they just conjure up chances out of thin air. They don't have to grind out results like other teams. They can just rely on this astronomical talent pool to outscore the opposition whenever they feel like it. Section 4. Chasing the three-peat. History in the making. Which brings us to the monumental narrative defining their entire season, their quest to win a third consecutive Champions League title. I mean, domestic dominance is practically expected at this point, but conquering Europe 3 times in a row, that is the stuff of absolute sporting immortality. This context is absolutely vital for understanding their historical ambitions. The Champions League three-peat is quite literally one of the most exclusive clubs in world football. The last team to achieve this incredible feat was Real Madrid. PSG has already proven they belong in the upper echelon by becoming just the 12th club to win multiple UEFA Super Cups, echoing the achievements of Milan and Madrid. So the ultimate question for this campaign is pretty clear. Can PSG join that historic elite list this season? Section 5. Who can stop them? The European challengers. Naturally, the burning question echoing across every tactical war room in Europe right now is simply this: who is actually capable of knocking them off their perch? Let's evaluate the serious contenders trying to close that gap. First up, you have Arsenal, a squad that proved they can absolutely hang with PSG by taking them all the way to penalties last year. Then there's Real Madrid. They're looking even stronger this year, and as we all know, they are the historical masters of simply finding moments to win late in games, even when they're being totally outplayed. You also have Barcelona, who have been consistently hovering in and around that top tier for the last couple of seasons. And finally, Bayern Munich, who are looking highly resurgent and seemingly back in peak form. So the gap might be closing, and these challengers are definitely formidable. Yet, even with those incredible challengers, the chilling consensus from the experts is pretty clear. If they're all playing to their maximum, I think PSG are still the best side. If you microanalyze the tactics, the squads, and the depth, the reality is incredibly stark. Yes, Real Madrid can find magic moments out of nowhere, and yes, Arsenal can drag them to the absolute limit. But when every single team in Europe is playing at their absolute 100% best, PSG's ceiling remains totally unmatched. Which leaves us with this final provocative thought to take away from this explainer. Will complacency be their only true rival this season? If no other club has the sheer firepower, the depth off the bench, or the on-ball dominance to systematically dethrone them over 90 minutes, is PSG's biggest obstacle to a historic Champions League three-peat simply their own boredom? Can Luis Enrique keep them hungry enough to write their names into the history books, or will their total comfort on the pitch be their ultimate undoing? It's a fascinating storyline, and you better believe it's the one we'll be watching unfold all season long.